Hi everyone. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to evaluate a quadratic function. Okay, so given f of x equal x squared minus 4x plus 5, they ask us to find f of 0. Okay, so again, this is a quadratic function. And why? Because the highest exponent, which we call the degree, here the degree is 2. And when a degree is 2, the way we call that that function, the name is quadratic. So this is a quadratic function. Okay, so how do we evaluate f of 0? So first of all, I want to talk about the notation f of x first. So f of x here does not mean you take f and multiply with the x. Okay, it doesn't mean product. We read that f of x. That's the way you read it. So when you read this notation, you have to say f of x. Okay, so it doesn't mean multiplication. So what does it mean? So f of x is another way to write y. Okay, so in mathematics, we interchange f of x and the notation f of x and y. Okay, so what f of x is saying here? So f of x is just saying that to write this expression here, you're using the variable x. You're using the variable x. That's it. So if I've chosen let's say to write the quadratic expression with the variable, let's say a, I will have written f of a equal a squared minus 4a plus 5. Okay, so whatever the variable that I'm using inside the parentheses, tell me that I have to write the expression. That's the variable that I have to use. Okay, you cannot have f of x equals such things, a squared minus 4a plus 5. No. So the variable used here on the right side must match with the variable inside the parentheses. Okay. Okay. Or if you want, you can use x. If you want to use variable x, you have to make sure that the variable used is only x. Okay, so that's what I wanted to point out. So let's continue. Okay, so sorry for the noise here. So how do we find f of 0? How do we evaluate a function given x value? What I like to do, I like to use a template. Okay. What do I call templates? Basically, I'm going to rewrite the quadratic function, but instead of writing x, the variable x, I'm going to use two empty parentheses like this. Why? Because now I know the value, what to plug in for x. So you're going to write here 0, 0. So now let's compute. So what is 0 squared? Is 0. Okay, so for this example, I'm just going to say I'm bringing down the negative and do 4 times 0 is just 0. And then bring down the plus 5. So 0 take away 0 is just 0. So f of 0 is going to be 5. So what does it mean? It means that when the x value is 0, the y value or the output is 5. Okay, and this can be written as the order pair. Okay, and this one represents also the y-intercept. 5 represents the y-intercept. Okay, so the y-intercept is at y equal 5. Okay, y value of 5. So we are done. Okay, so why do we call the y-intercept? Because we get the y-intercept when x is 0. Okay, so when x is 0, the output that we get is the y-intercept. So now let's practice another one, okay, to check your understanding. So let's say for part B, what is f of 1? How would you find f of 1? Okay, please pause the video here and try to do f of 1. Okay, welcome back. So I hope you're able to write down the template. So all you have to do now is to replace the x with its number, its value, which is 1. Okay, so now what do we do next? So we know that 1 squared is 1. Why? Because 1 squared means it doesn't mean, because so don't think, okay, 1 square means 1 times 2, okay? So 1 square means, okay, 1 square means you take the base, which is 1, sorry, okay? And then you want to multiply by itself 2 times. Why? Because the exponent is 2. The exponents tell us how many times to multiply the base with itself. So the base needs to multiply with itself 2 times, 1, 2. Okay, so what is 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, so let's continue. So now 1 square is 1. Don't think, okay, it has to be 1 times 2. No, 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 no. You take the base, the number inside of a parenthesis, that's the number I call the base, and you multiply by itself. Now let's continue. So I can do now -4 times 1. Again, it's going to be -4. So make sure you don't think it's -4 plus 1. If you don't see the dot, there is a multiplication dot right there. Okay, don't think it's a -4 plus 1. No, no, no. It's actually multiplication. Okay, but mathematicians don't write the multiplication dot. Okay, so it should be -4 times +1 is -4, and I'm going to bring down the 5. So let's compute. So 1 take away 4. Remember, you are adding numbers with different signs. Okay, how do we add numbers with different signs? Again, you subtract. What did you do? 4 minus 1, which is 3. Okay, and you want to keep the sign of a bigger number. What is a bigger number? 4. And what is the sign on the 4? Negative, so the answer must be negative. Okay, and then you bring down the 5. So let's continue computing. Okay, -3 plus 5 is going to be what? Again, different sign, you're adding number with different signs. So you want to subtract 5 take away 3 is 2, and you keep the sign of a bigger number. The bigger number here is 5, and 5 is positive, so it's going to be 2, positive 2. So when it's a single number like this, you don't need to write the +2, okay? You just leave it like this, 2 like this. You assume it's positive, right? So f of 1 is equal to 2. So basically, this mean on the graph, when you plug in, so when you plug in x, the y value is 2. Okay, I hope the video was helpful. So thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.